Welcome, this is Becker Wozat. We're going to start the tour. There will be a link to the download in the description of the episode, and it'll be good. You get to watch it. You get to look at the map and tell me what you think of this map. And you probably hate this map. You've seen so little of it recently. I only just show you a small part of it at once. Well, now we're going to do this. Okay, we're going to start. This is the bedroom. This is where I start. But I have to say, when I started playing, I wasn't here. So we're going to walk away from here for a little bit. I believe there used to be terrain. I think it's over there. I think the terrain used to be over there when we started. When I first started, it was in dev. No, it was pre-in dev. It was this really crappy game. Instead of an inventory screen, we had a block pick screen, and it was a small map, very small map. Then I played for a little bit in dev, very little bit. Didn't record anything, but I started inf dev because I was so excited about it. I recorded an inf dev, and what happened was some of the old map transferred over, and I was quite surprised because I had deleted the old map, but there it was. And so I think I was over there, but I may have been over there. It was one of those locations. Now these things aren't there anymore because every time this map updates, if I did a lot of traveling, then bits of the map might vanish and be replaced with new stuff. There's like chunk errors and stuff. So yeah, so what we've got here is a game, but it's a very weird game. Everything has been really lived in lately. A lot going on there. So yeah, what I did was I dug some stuff out. There was a hill here. This was all a hill. And on that side there was like, it was a smaller hill, but it was much more rockier. And it was over here, somewhere around over here, that there was a... In fact, we might be able to still see it. Well, maybe not. But down there somewhere was a staircase going all the way down to bedrock. And I think it was before we even had stairs. I think we just had the other things. We spent a lot of time making this build. I flattened out the area, and I saw my first creeper, and I was scared like crazy. And I started building this. Now, this was just the wooden structure. Just the wooden structure. We had doors in the middle here, and I hated that. Because it looked so much better if you just had a bunch of flat panel glass. And so we did this, and I made little towers. The towers were not made until alpha, I think, or maybe late inf dev. It's been a while. So there was a space here, and I flattened it out, got rid of everything there, and so we don't have a way to get down to bedrock from that point. Now this is great because you can just go up here and look. And you can see the various things. We've got a greater range of sight than I think we used to, so that was pretty cool. But it's just really basically building these towers. They're not particularly interesting. The interior was a lot of fun. The skylight was added later because I didn't know what we were going to do here. I kind of made this... I was going to have a pathway, actually, but it ended up being very narrow, and I didn't have a way to get up there in any way that made any kind of sense. Okay, if I remember correctly, this way, I think it was this way, was a huge ocean. I never found out how big it was because we didn't have boats. In fact, we still don't have very many boats in this area. I really should... The docks should have some boats, but we don't. Or didn't. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the boats were busted or something. Actually, making a little... That's a fishing pier. That's not meant to be a boat dock because it's too high up. Can't reach the boat from up there. And so as once we were going to have stairs going down on all four sides. And that was kind of clunky, so I just changed it to just 2 on this side, and I made it wider. I remember we used to have all of our storage in this area here, and it was just piling up and piling up. And that's where I discovered the whatchamazit, the minecart that doesn't work properly yet. We will be adding minecarts eventually, but we have to work out the details to that. We're a little bit behind on that. And so once I was down here, I said, okay, we'll have this, it'll be like this, and we'll have walls over here, we'll have rooms. And so I have 3 rooms. One's the main bedroom, you've seen that, and one's right across that is where we're going to have this. But first we had to have this corridor, and down this corridor we were going to put all the treasure chests. This was going to be a corridor, but it was for storage purposes only. It wasn't meant to go anywhere. Once I realized I needed it to keep going, I realized we needed a larger storage area, and I eventually built this huge thing. Which is still not finished because there's so many chests that are needed. We can't do 3 on every column because that's a... You know, it might be possible to do a third one if we put some slabs up there. I'll have to look into that. This is, we got a lot of stuff here. That looks weird. That's is it called sulfur or is it called gunpowder? I forget. They call it something. The paintings, everything here, all the textures have been modified to look slightly different. There's a bit of a blue tint to the stone. Just a tiny amount, you can barely tell. And then all the paintings have been modified. This is possible. All you have to do is to change the textures in the jar file. And that means every time this thing updates, you have to change the jar file to update everything. And I can do that. It's no problem. But it's like, make one mistake. Once they change the game, then some of the graphics aren't going to work or something else will happen. And we've had some very interesting shenanigans. So this room. I don't show this room as much. It's a guest bedroom. It's the same as the... Oh, wait a minute. It's not the same. All right, hold on. Wish I could go faster. Whenever I see something that has to be done, I find myself wanting to go faster. We've discovered many bugs about the game, and this is the one I hate the most. Bloop. And that's how you do that. The blue door, somebody's going to ask about the blue doors. I guess it just fits nicely with the walls are slightly blue. Actually, the walls are slightly cyan, not slightly blue. But I guess maybe it's from the TARDIS or something. I don't know. Now, the skylight was this idea that we could light all the downstairs levels, but just keep having a skylight on every level. And we were going to go down, and so we did go down. Here's the first floor down here. We've got more rooms. These are not necessarily bedrooms, but we've got room for beds if we have to. Now, this is a larger room. I've extended it out a couple of times. If ever I need a larger room, but it's not that large really. Another large room. Another small room. Now, over here, it's a tour, but I'm not going to show where this goes. This goes to a secret area where I perform some of my experiments where I discover things about items and stuff. Oh, that goes up. I'm looking for one that goes down. There are some experiments that I should not talk about. And this has been finished, but I haven't got any further levels down here. But we could probably dig all kinds of things down here. I don't know what we're going to do below this, but we're probably going to work on this in a future episode. We're already up to 10 minutes. That's just great. But you can't get down to bedrock levels, so you can't get diamonds anymore, right? Not that we've gotten very many diamonds. Well, that's what happens is I started making tunnels. This tunnel originally ended up just going out to here and had these 6 paintings, which look nice as this. They're very abstract. I wish I could make them more detailed. That could make some really cool graphics. Eh? This area was added later. Now it's gotten nighttime. Well, we're going to have to wander around in the middle of the night anyway, I guess. While I was busy, knocking all this stuff, once I'd flattened this area out, I'm like, oh, I'm going to build a tower here. And I didn't know why we were going to build a tower here. I just thought it'd be nice if we build a tower. We had these small towers, but we need to work on the big towers. So I built this huge thing. And then after I started on it, I realized I have to get this to line up perfectly. And so I did. Now, somebody's going to tell me, oh, look at that. This side you don't see the ladder. This side you do see the ladder. Ha ha ha. Somebody's going to tell me you can't put a ladder on glass. Well, here you will see a ladder on glass, and it works. And what do you say about that, huh? These levels are all the same. I haven't built anything in them. I could theoretically put something in these levels. Strychnine, hopefully. One day I might find a use for these. I haven't decided if we can even have windows in this place yet. We don't have proper windows yet. And this is the level which I'm Wait a minute. Here we go. This area here is probably going to be, if I ever get the time, changed into a squarish space and be a huge observation platform. But if we want one, what we can do is just go up here to build height, and we could look out across the world and look at this world. You can see we've got a bunch of things. We still got the vestiges of the space there, so that's still there. And we've got places where we could go by boat, but we haven't yet. We got something we started there. We just started working on it, but it only goes out to there because it's a question mark. This is the question mark area, except it doesn't look like a question mark because that's north. That's north. You see that? The sun and the moon, they rise in the north and they set in the south, which is kind of stupid, but that's how it is at the moment. They have to fix that. Wonder if they ever will. Yeah. So there's the. We'll get a better look at it over there later. Now this is meant to be a big dock, but we don't have anything like boats on it or anything. It's just really lit up, and we don't have any idea what we're going to do with that. We've been digging. We also built in that direction, and we built in this direction. We can see some of it from here, but not all of it. There's a lot of it is obscured by certain areas and things, and so we're going to explore those in future episodes. So we got a lot going on here. Going down, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Next level should be the main level. Nope, it's the one below that. With all the doors. Gotta be careful, it could be creepers. Made these little pathways, this goes out to here. Here is our first example of pixel art, which is just basically one big giant pixel. Spider. If you think the pigs look off, I've changed the texture of them. They look like the pigs from hell. Because we don't have the dogs of war. So we have the pigs from hell. Speaking of pixel art, there's the pixel art of Bekar Wozat. or rather, you wonder what kind. It's the avatar. If you're on a forum, you get an avatar. Well, this is the original avatar. It's from Ultima 3 or Ultima 4. The problem is it doesn't look very good because we need a black texture, and so what we're going to need is we're going to need to get some dark obsidian from this sort of thing. Well, that's it for this episode. We'll be showcasing more of this place forthwith. Don't worry, it won't take too long. This is the end of part 1. I'm probably going to have to upload all these on the same day or something. This is the second. Here's the corridor comes out in here into the basement. This is where the basement originally was. It was meant to be a hub. It's also like the hub there, but this is the hub for the big tower. The big tower is going to be more of a main base than our original main base was. The original main base was from InfDev, and it extends out into Alpha. But now we have this. We've got several things here. Okay, this is our farm. We built this a little more recently. Here's our reeds. Here's our crops of wheat. This is colorful, so you know that it's ripe for planting. Otherwise, it's not. The light shines out from upstairs. That's why we have glass enclosures on the surface that you may have seen last episode. Otherwise, but if it's nighttime, you can't see anything. But it's all right. Nothing will spawn. These are slabs, and nothing spawns on slabs. Nothing beats a bud. There's all the wheat. It's the same problem as the pork chops. You know, it's just can't stack them. Wish you could stack them. Can't stack them. One day they'll fix it. This is one of the few objects that I don't think I've changed the texture on. The cactus, but the cactus doesn't really do much. You know, here's the reeds, and you turn them into paper, and then you turn the paper into books, and then you turn the books plus some wood into bookshelves. We'll get to that in a minute. There's the cactus, and you can see it doesn't do anything. It's just cactus. We'll figure something out with that. They'll have a purpose for it in the future. Until then, you can grow it, and you don't want to run into it because you'll take damage. All right. Storage, I had to have a space going to the storage at this end. You just have to. By the way, there's no way to extend this unless we had a level below this to put this in. Once we're finished with putting down everything, then we're going to have nothing else we can do about that. Okay, the tree farm. The tree farm was a few episodes. It took a long time to dig this whole thing out. It's very tall and very long. What is that, 10? Is that 10 or 9? I forgot. Again, this takes up as much space as possible. It takes up 2 levels. There's up there, there's down here. This is the downstairs level from up there. And here is the library. I believe we finished the books. I was going to put something else there. I forgot what it was. We don't, however, have chairs that make any kind of sense. We can get some chairs to face the right way, but other ones, they do stuff like that. It's just not possible. So, unless they fix the chairs, we're going to have to find some other way of getting from one place to the next. And you can't sit in them anyway. These are stairs, not chairs. And the table is too short, I think. I think the table needs to go up here. Anyway, that's messed up. But we got all the books. Can't take the books or anything, but you can pretend you're reading in the library. All the vast knowledge of and we also need some way of keeping from falling down here. I can't think of a block that will do it and will not obstruct the view. Like a railing. Have some kind of railing or something. And then over here we're just going to have some more tables, but we haven't done that yet. That one's the more recent of all the locations in all 4 directions. But there's we have this this unlit tunnel. It's okay. Which goes to this, which goes down here like this. This is nice. Of course, it's not going to be really nice unless we can have the tunnel over there continue. But we don't have any idea where we're going to go with that yet. All right. Now we go down from here. More levels that we could have, and more levels that we might one day have. And maybe these are levels that we'll never get anything from. This goes into a very narrowish area, but ultimately it's a dead end. Okay, here is... We used to have a whole bunch of slimes here, and it crashed the map several times. You don't want your map to crash. There were just too many slimes down here. And I was fighting them, and I was getting killed a couple times. We also have some rare instances of lava, but we don't have anything we could do with the lava, really. Except maybe make obsidian if we pour water on it. I think that's what you do. So there's a lot left to do down here. The reason why is this is the level where I get the diamond from. But I never got any diamond from this area. I've had to go into several passages that we're working on, and here it is. Leading to some really cool caves, and that's the only place where I found one, I think it was just one diamond. I'm going to have to look that up again. I might have more than one now. It's kind of annoying. Had a passage this way, and I don't remember what happened here. I'm not sure what I did here. Did I deliberately place these damaging... I don't know. And then this goes out here. Nothing makes any sense here. This is the utilitarian part of the place. And yes, we can still go down because here is bedrock. And so if I want to look at the texture of bedrock, here it is. I made it all purple. It would still be a nice contrast for... Oh, wait, we don't seem to have any way of getting bedrock. Just... Let's have a 15-minute video of me just doing that. And I forgot what color I made the obsidian. Anyway, none of that matters because it's all blocks under at the bottom. We don't need to deal with those. Okay, so what happens next? This is the wrong level. These are still here. Take it down a while. This is still here until... Wait, where do I put these? This is still here until we finish this. And not before. This area is finished. So we made a tunnel this way. And I was like, well, what's this tunnel going to? Exactly. Well... It wasn't intended to be a tunnel originally. I thought we'll just have tunnels whenever we need to, but it's daytime, so we'll go out. Might as well. So I hit upon the idea of let's have some tunnels. So once we started getting this area just messed up with bad terrain. Look at how bad this terrain is. I started building tunnels in them. I thought, let's have this go up a few blocks. I thought this would be cool. Actually, I don't like the lack of railings on this. I think you get a nice view from here. Get a nice view of the pixel art that is the less crappy pixel art. And this was my first above ground level tunnel. And it's not the only one, obviously. And this is where I decided, and the reason why I went out here was because the old chunks had the old ore generation, and the new ore generation would be in new chunks. So I went to this area, and here it is, the new chunk area. And so this was called the mining outpost, or it might have been called something else originally. You got the Street Fighter painting that looks really cool when you got all those colors to it. I got a lot of stuff in here. And there's a second floor I rarely go up in, except when I'm in the area and I want to look outside. Now let's see. This was as flat as it is now. There were a whole bunch of little things like that. I haven't removed that yet. I don't know if I will. But yeah, there were things like that all over the place. Lots of different things, lots of holes and things. And over here, there's got some hills, and these hills are still pretty much here. I haven't messed with this yet. So this is a nice little AFK room, which I've put stuff in here. And then so we down here is the storage. It's a nice little storage area. It's fewer chests than in the main base. But then this comes out here, and there's this, the tunnel that I was just going down. Now originally, this was going to just keep going down to bedrock level, and we would be digging out in there. But I wanted to hurry up, so I made a ladder that went down. And we're going to go down this ladder for the first time in a very long number of episodes. This was just me mapping this area out. You don't want creatures spawning in an area, so you just place torches, and then they won't. That's the fun thing about Minecraft. You can stop monsters from appearing. Okay, this area, I gotten lost several times. I am not sure. We could probably find more ores, but I might have to do some traveling. This tells me that this is where you go. This is the way out. But we're not going to do a cave episode. I've cleared out so much of this area that there's no point. Continue going down. Now down here is the bedrock level and is where we could get diamonds. And here is our graphic for obsidian. Yeah, I didn't find any diamonds down here, so we're not gonna talk about that any further. We are done with this area. The mining outpost can still be used as a mining outpost, and it will in future very likely be used for something like that. But once I got into this area, I wanted to go everywhere else and look at everything else, and that's what we're going to do. Flattening the area out. Little tree farm. I like having a tree farm in a localized area, but I want to have an underground tree farm like the one I have back at the base, you know. Alright, this is the tunnel we went through earlier. What's above the tunnel? Well, it's just terrain. Just dull, or maybe not too dull terrain, but it's just terrain. There's this here, and there's that there, and there's, you know. This is the area that I bypassed, and so I don't know if we need it for anything, or if we just want to have something. Every once in a while, you'll see something like this. It's a chunk error. I don't know what's causing the chunk errors. I'm not sure what's causing chunks to appear, disappear, or not be where you want them to be. I don't know. It's the big mystery of this map. And maybe now that you download it, and the link should be in the description of the previous episode. I don't know if it's in this one, because I haven't uploaded it yet. I don't know what that's meant to be. I think this was my original attempt at making a base. Was I found this, and I thought this was it. But it turned out I'd actually started one over there. That's what it started at. It started at something that looked like this. And I made the front wall, and then I surrounded it, and then I dug the stuff out, and so then it became a building, and then there's this rock stuff behind it, and I just built up since then. This is a huge flat territory. I love the idea of a huge flat territory. I was weeks in making this work, but I have a plan for this area. I'm going to maybe build a bunch of buildings. Here was an area. Oh, this isn't it. A room that could be used in future. Maybe it will. This room is used and has some things in it. Here's another tunnel. We'll get to that. This area is going to have another door in it somewhere, but I don't know where we're going to put the door. This area is turning nighttime. Perfect timing for the lighthouse. We got a bridge. We got this going down to that space. That space was not needed, but here is the lighthouse. Unfortunately, we don't have a very good kind of source of light, so we've just got light on blocks like that. It's kind of pathetic, really. But it's the lighthouse. It's very badly made, really. My parents were crazy about lighthouses, but I'm not. This bridge is going to continue in this direction eventually, if we ever want to build anything further. But this bridge is pretty big. It took me some doing because I kept falling off trying to build it. And when that happens, you don't want to do that. I don't think I'll be able to finish this, so we'll have to do next episode almost immediately. Here we go. See you next time. Okay, this is part 3 of the tour. I haven't built the wall to this edge yet. Yes, there's an edge that's going to have a wall, and I haven't built the wall edge yet. And we have a tunnel here, and this tunnel goes back to the mining outpost. It's not centered with it, though. It's not centered. There's the center of it, so this is kind of bad. Here's a couple of chunks. Is this 3 chunks or 2? I forget. But it's a big, giant chunk area. I think it's just 2 chunks. And so I'm using that. This room is meant to have something in it. Maybe you could lounge around in this room. Originally it was open to the sky, but we have a skylight now. Here's a tunnel that just goes into a space that we're going to build in, but I don't have anything handy for it yet. But I do have some feathers. Chickens falling to their deaths. That's all we get. Chickens fall to their deaths. Now, if you want to see the upper part of this, you have to go over here. Here. And here where there's the ladder, which I ignored earlier. It's almost like a parapets on the side of a castle or something. I flattened this area out, but I did not light it up, so there's going to be creatures there. I don't think I finished this. I was going to do something else with this area. Actually, that'd be a good place to put a tree farm. Uh-oh. There he is. Maybe they're over there. This area's been flattened out a little bit. Yeah, the idea is to just have like a roof to this thing, which is going to eventually be a building. Eventually we'll just hollow it out and we'll put stuff in there. Or have rooms in here or something. Oh. Getting out of here, you do this. Well, we're pretty much done with this area. I could show you what's in that direction, which is nothing. It's just the terrain has not been flattened all the way down there, because it tapers down to a beach. And so we haven't worked out how big that's going to be or what that's going to be like. We've got stairs down here, so we can treat this like a swimming pool. But we get all these sheep wool in this place, and that's bad. Also working on that. What's that going to look like? Or are we going to just keep it like that? I don't know. And that's it for this area. We could add some more to it, but we're really short on time here. We've already done We've done the west section and the main section. Now it's time to begin on the north section. But there's all this walking, and this is the main problem with these things. I don't have a proper thing set up for anything. Making these into little rivers and stuff, and making a little beach here. It's all artificial. I've set it up this way so that we will know where everything is. So if we ever travel anywhere by boat, we do have boats. Just don't have any boats on me. So once I saw this was another one of these lands, I thought, oh, we're going to put one here too. And so I wanted it to be identical with the one over there, and I think I succeeded. I didn't succeed. There's more lights on these than on those. It's the old style of lighting was on that, but on this one we got the new style of... Alright, so I gotta fix that. I still haven't been in there. I've been in there, but I've not been in there. Okay, this comes out... I was surprised to find out that this came out down here, and I just thought, oh, well, that would have been nice. Maybe we could have just had... But you see, because there was water, this goes over water. It's a bridge. Citation needed. So what we needed was we couldn't just have it down at ground level. So this came out down here like this, and then I saw this big chunk error, and I just... Is it a chunk error? Well, it might be. I never really noticed. And we built this, and you might have seen these episodes if you've been seeing them recently. This is a small room. It was originally going to be a bigger room, and is now not a smaller room. This is 2 chunks, I think. Maybe bigger. Goes up to 2nd floor. Goes up to 3rd floor. I like that you can just look out of these little corners. You can see things in the distance. This is really, really handy for when you want to do something like that. You look out there and, oh, look at that. And, oh, look at that. And, oh, you can see another chunk problem over there. Maybe we'll be putting a building there, too. There's a courtyard. No, the real courtyard is below us. That one. But this one is like a 2nd floor or a 3rd floor courtyard. You can again see that. We'll get to that in a second. And then this goes up to the top level. I forgot how I got down from the roof. Oh, there is a roof thing. Yeah, the roof is it's not a very tall tower compared to that one, but it's a tall tower. I don't remember that. I'm going to have to fix that. This goes down here like this and culminates in that going on and on and on. And it goes on to the next thing, and we'll get to that later. Hopefully this episode. Now the 2nd floor, well, we're not done with this area yet. We'll get to the 2nd floor in a minute. So that was all there was going to be. And so I made this, and I had this. And this is where I have launched my boats. Do you see any boat? There's a boat over there. Why is the boat all the way over there? Because when you get off of a boat, it keeps moving very, very slowly, but eventually it goes somewhere. And if you're in a boat when it crashes into something, it's going to break. Broken boats. I was kind of hoping they would make a mod that would fix it so boats wouldn't break. But we're just going to have to wait for them to make it so that the boats don't break. Anyway, so that's what we got here. We got a tiny, tiny tree farm. Just a couple of trees. It was helpful at the time. Another chunk error over here, so I thought let's fix this up. This was originally just going to be a little space to just lounge around and everything, but then I thought we got to get to this part of the map. And I flattened this area out so we'd have a nice space. There's another chunk problem over here with that. This is more dangerous, and there's some iron. Don't have to worry about that. We've got cave. We got a bunch of cave there, cave there, cave there, cave there, cave there, cave there, cave there. This place is just is I don't. Oh, why? Why hasn't that been? All right, I'm fixing that right now. There. The caves just come out in other places. You know, you go over here and then you look and then you're like, oh. You know, so it's almost like that. There's this one area at the beginning of Turok Dinosaur Hunter, a video game on N64. Or is it just called Turok 64? This area also has to be flattened out, and it has not been. And this area is too dark, so I have to light it up. What's down here? I'm probably just gonna flatten the area out and just remove any access to downstairs from there. Bit of a cave thing going on here, but I don't want to spend any time on this right now. It's all stuff to work on. It will be worked on. Oop, ew. But up here, you could fall to your death. Well, there's a way out of here. Hold on. Well, damn it, I'm trapped here. Alright. Well, I was going to say something, but I've now forgotten what it was. This area is not finished yet. It will be finished. It will be worked on, but what's in that direction? I don't think there's anything in that direction yet. I've gone on several trips where I've gone a great distance, and I'd get lost and I couldn't get back, and I'd be really pissed off. Here's the second floor pathway, and from here we get our smallest tunnel. It's a very small tunnel. As I said before, there's a bigger tunnel underneath that. This area needs to be sorted out. It looks terrible as it is. Okay, so we got a more chunk problem over there. We're going to work on that in the near future after I do this tour. And we got a huge number of chunks that have been really, really messed up. And so what I did was I've made a tiny tree farm here. And so it's like we got this for a temp base, but then I decided we would just turn it into a huge thing that's going to be a restaurant. Again, we need to work out tables and chairs, and we haven't figured out how we're going to work out tables and chairs. This is probably going to be something for the future. Maybe they'll make a table object and a chair object. I wish they would. I got a lot of junk here. We don't need to mess with that. After several attempts at making stairs, we eventually got stairs into this place. You may have seen this recently. And this goes back down, and guess where this goes? Yep, it goes right back to this. And this goes to where the stairs were, but I removed those stairs. I gotta get lost in all this. This goes all the way. Oh, you can see the other side now. If you look very carefully, you can see the far end of this thing. If you're looking at it in 360p, you might not see it. And of course, this is, you get to look out and see the somewhat blank, featureless chunk problem error over there. I've been clearing a bit out over there, not recently, but I have tried to clear some stuff out, and this part isn't finished actually, because we haven't decided what we're going to have at this end. But this was This was the original door, but now we have a door over here. More trees. So we're planning on eventually moving some stuff. We're going to have walls around there and stuff, but I don't know what we're going to do with that. That's a huge, giant open area. As you can see, we haven't flattened this out yet. We're going to put a building there, but what building? I don't know. And this goes down to where the docks will be. We could have a little boat tour, but it's not much of a tour because it just basically comes out the other end, and that's no good. At the other end, but we can go underneath the bridge. The tarp has sprung a leak. This area's been flattened out. I don't know if we're going to build anything here. We got a lot of space. If we need to build anything here, this would be a great place to build something. Now we must take the long trip back to where we were going. And we are not finished. We are not finished with the tour. There's going to be at least... Huh? Ooh, that's no good. We gotta finish the wall because I need a bright block or I need a dark block. I think a bright block would be better. But it's too difficult to get wool. You kill sheep and then you gotta wait for more sheep to show up. So, that's it for this. We'll continue the tour in part 4. Coming soon to this channel. Welcome, this is part 4 of our bizarro... I gotta fix all this. That should not be there. Where can I get one? Use this one. There. Okay, so this is going to be a big tower. It's going to be bigger than that little squat tower there. And it's going to be not quite as big as the tower that's on the other side of those that chunkier stuff. But you'll notice over here, before I get started on that, you'll notice that I got this water. And that shows you how there's a chunk error. We had something else here. And then one update, it just changed everything, and we have the water. It did not flow down. It's still up there. So this is what it looks like now. I think there were actually 4 of them, but I accidentally knocked one down or ruined it. Well, there's the 3 that are there now, anyway. So I thought, let's make one that goes up to halfway up, and I don't know if that's exactly halfway up, but that's pretty much where that goes, up to there, then up to there. That's good. This goes over here, so I thought, it didn't originally look like this. It's another flat area, because there's a chunk error right here, in case it wasn't obvious. But yeah, this is going to an entrance, and we'll have an entrance here, and then we'll try to find some way to get it to go up to there. We probably won't. Ah, but you see there's some hidden stuff over here. Look into there. We got a hidden room, and yes, this goes down, guess where? To the long tunnel, and this tunnel goes underneath the bridge. Well, not quite underneath the bridge. This one was harder to do than the other ones, and I forgot why. It just seemed harder to do. It doesn't always... Whoa! Wait a minute! That is not a block. That is water. Okay, we're gonna have to go get something. We should have some more glass, right? Right. Should have some more glass. We got more glass. Running repairs on things. Why not? Why not do some running repairs? Okay, so anyway, up here is this area, and it goes out into there, but it also comes into this area, which leads to the beach. And it also leads to this, which is going to be an underground tunnel that's going to actually remain dirt. We're going to have a dirt tunnel. Probably even make the floor dirt at some point. Why not? But we're not done because this goes up, and we need it not to go up. We have to work out the details as to how high things are. We can only have a 6 height room. That is to say, the actual space is 5 height with a floor that's 1 height. Anyway, that's that taken care of. Next. See, now you can see the big tower, the small tower, and the second big tower, and there will be other towers, of course. Looking at that, it looks very strange. It's almost like a chair. Maybe it's a hint of things to come. Now, I messed up on this, and I'm not sure I fixed it. I calculated 17, then I calculated 16, then I calculated 17. I need it to be 18, not 16. So I may have screwed everything up, and I may have to lower everything or raise everything, or I don't know what. But, so this is not anywhere near finished. We haven't placed any glass yet. Yeah. But we definitely have a building going on here, being worked on. It will be worked on more in the future. It's not during the tour, and also not necessarily past it. I work on whatever I want to work on. You know, whatever we're going to do next, that's what we're going to do next. This thing is going to be another long-term project. I don't know if I've got a chance to do a long-term project at the present moment. And now we have to watch out for creepers. Maybe also skeletons. Don't care about zombies. They're easy. Ah! Frag. Alright, here we go. Well, it's a good place to get dirt. It's always a good place to get dirt. Oh, you know what the problem was? I didn't light this up since I was last here. I was supposed to light up here and I didn't, and that's my fault. But the creeper came from over here. There must be a dark spot somewhere. I don't know what I'm going to do with this area. Right? Are you okay? And I've taken some damage. How abso-freaking-lutely wonder-frickin-ful. Try saying that 10 times fast. Alright, so we're done with this area. After this, I could go on a boat and go somewhere. We've covered... Oh, wait, we haven't covered everything. Down here, we got a room. This room comes out here, which you've seen in the previous episode. This would be, again, an ideal place. We could have a little office, have a desk over here. Okay, come on up. State your name. Okay. So, why do you want to join our organization? Well, the pay is good. No, it isn't. We don't have emeralds. Oh, no. And that's a problem, too. Yeah, I hear there's emeralds in the game, but I haven't seen any yet. Are there emeralds in the game? Or is it rubies? Okay, now this area, I had this idea that we could go from here and we could spy on my old base. We had a waterfall here, but I've gotten rid of that. And of course, there's the proverbial thing that goes down to there. We're gonna have to take that in a second. I am considering making a tunnel this way, or extending out the room, or something like that. There's some boats. There's a few places that we haven't gone to. It's mostly just journeying by boat. You go places, and there's areas and stuff, and we've got some locks or waterways that go through little areas and stuff. But we've pretty much checked out the we've checked out the north after we've checked out the west. Now it's time to check out the south. Now the south was one that took a little longer to get going with. I didn't mention this room. This room is not 5x6, it's 5x5. Can't imagine what would be 5x5 that we would want to have for that room. Maybe I should make that the main bedroom because it's a little more comfy. But I like a nice confined bedroom sometimes when sleeping. Now this was originally meant to go... Oh, I should go back to the surface. This was meant to go up to an area, which I then decided we weren't going to do that. I don't remember what the reason was, but it's probably because there's going to be a hole in the ground. So that tunnel has been abandoned, but we might do something with that area in the future. This is eerily dark. I'd say it's too eerily dark, if you ask me. All right. And our tree farm. And this just goes out to the another level of that. We are planning on having, anything else. We could have more pathways this way going into this area. This is a tree farm area. And so we have that on top of it. And is there anything here? This is a nice flat area. And we got this going up here, so you could go back up here, but we haven't sorted out. We're going to do that. We're going to dig out in this area in the near future. This area could definitely stand to be, well, you know what, but we might build buildings on this. We might even leave it alone. There's been a couple of cave-like things in a few places, but not that big. This was worked on, and I have a reason for working on this, but I don't have a pathway, a way to get in there yet. I guess all I really need to do is just put a door right there, and that would do it. But where are we going to put the door, and what's it going to be like, and I have no idea. This goes to a little water area. Hi. Didn't drop anything. Well, daytime is coming anyway. And this is going to go over here, but what's over here? Nothing. Nothing is over here. That's the point. There's nothing here. We can build something here. If we can't build something here, what else can we do? That's all that this is. That's all that this is. It's just we build, we we build if we can. Is there a chunk problem over here? There is. It's not a full chunk problem, though. There's a lot that we have to do, and there's a lot that we can't do. I'd like to see, since we have the download, we have a download link for this. What you think about, what you like about this map, and what you could build out of it. The only major personal thing I have over here is monument to Linda S., who we broke up not so long ago, as you can see. I've tried to get her back, but I'm like, no, I have to let her go. And then there's this rather strange thing, which I'm going to build a tower or two. Have a tower there and have a tower here. But I have to have a reason for building it. It's too small for a mansion. I thought it was going to be a mansion. Also, I need to double check the waterways of this place. We can't go on a waterway tour. That'll have to be in the distant future, really. But I've tried to set things up so that we can have a waterway between any locations. And that's why we've got bridges everywhere. I love a good bridge, but you know, you got bridges and then you've got bridges, you know. I like that at the end of a bridge we have a little extension and we put stuff here. I like doing that, you know. Water under the bridge. And here's my former tree farm, but now it's just a farm for... Oh, I thought I saw something. But we've got bizarre things. Like, what is that? It just... And we got a little time. No, we'll have to do the rest of the tour next time, as we're just run out of time. Sorry. Part 5. Welcome! It's a nice and sunny day in part 5 of our tour. We can't give a tour of everywhere because we've got a lot of other places we could go to by boat, but they're not finished places. It's just mostly a few caves, you know, a couple of little canals, channels, whatever. This is a weird thing here. That's the tunnel from the other side. This is where the abandoned tunnel is. It's right here. That's it. It would have gone up there, and I decided I didn't want it to go up there because we're gonna have a bridge over there. Well, we ended up not making a bridge. We just have a pathway. There's a lot of little familiar areas just outside of our base town, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, I think this is the first bridge we've ever built. The others are just stairways that go into the side of this thing, but this is a bridge that comes out the other side of that. But I think we originally built a bridge here. This is where the original bridge was. It's nice and small. I made it in one episode. Eventually I made a fishing shack and a fishing pier. And this is very strange because the game doesn't even have fishing rods. But if they ever do, I'll be happy about that. There's also a three-way bridge. Goes from here to here. Another thing, this one didn't connect though. Yeah, I built this because this was already here. There was already a path. So I just, okay, we'll travel along it and then we go around the other side. I thought, well, we need to make a bridge here. So I did, and here it is. If I continue to build a bridge, I could maybe build a bridge here, or here, because this is where it really ought to be. There is stuff over there, but it's more likely to see if I could build something from over here. This is the mysterious and strange gravel beach. By the way, I love this gravel texture. Very high contrast. We could maybe build a bridge here, but I don't think we will. I don't know what we're going to do. As I said before, that's going to be a sort of a pier for putting boats around it, but I don't think it's lit up properly, so I need to look into that. I need it to be lit up properly so I can walk around there and not be worried about anything. This, well, we just built this, and there's nothing here, is there? We just built this, and I just dug all the way down here, and I built this, and it goes out to this nice little tunnel. This continues up here. And we do have a lot of stuff here. We need to move this stuff. But there's no rush. I've got plenty of stuff back where we were. And that just goes back there. You've seen that. Now this tunnel, I really like these pillars, and I like the beams. Pillars and beams. And I love this. It wasn't supposed to look like this, but it does. And it's under that little thing that's kind of a support for that bridge. It all works. It all works. And now we don't have to ever worry about doing a tour. This is the end of part 5. But it's only 4 minutes in. Yeah. I really like the paintings. The paintings were a nice idea. There is nothing further, but we can say, what about the tunnel over here? Well, this tunnel doesn't go anywhere because there's water on the other side of that. Alright, let's get a boat. Where do we have a boat? Let's get a boat. I'm going to regret this. I'm going to like really... we don't have a boat. We got this thing. This thing is... what is it? It's a jukebox, I think, but it only plays music discs, but I don't have any music discs. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. All right, let's make a boat. It's red. It's a red boat. Trouble. It turns kind of slowly. Moves kind of fast. Ah! Like I said, it's very tough to control this thing. I haven't gone to visit these islands because I don't know. Let's go this way. Let's look around here. It's good for practicing traveling by boat. Okay, now that's an area where I did an earlier tour. This was before we had boats, and I had to swim going slowly, and I hated that, but there was this area, and I dug down, and I put down some ladder. No, I didn't dig down, did I? It was a long time ago. I don't remember what I did. I did a lot of traveling and exploring, and I loved it. But there's only so much you can do, really. I don't know what I was really expecting when I did that traveling. This, I believe, was the... whoa, going too fast. Going too fast. See, look at all these chunk problems everywhere. It's like almost every time I update the map, there's something that is to the new version. It's just something that has been changed. There's another one. I'm just finding these all over the place. I wonder what the future is going to hold for this. It's about time I moved out to further away places. Well, this looks weird. Yeah, you see regular terrain, and then you see really tall mountains and things, and then you look at it, and it's like, why does it look like that? And then there's that. That's an overhang thing. This is a big area. I don't remember it. Which suggests that maybe it's been modified or something. These boats almost always break before you can get off of the... Oh, look at that. Nice corner. It really is something to see a map like this. I mean, most people I've seen who do Minecraft videos, I look at their stuff and it's like, this is all regular looking stuff. I know, what's that? Did I light something up over there? And I don't know why I lit it up over there. Or is it something else? I've had a couple of places where you stay for the night. Maybe that was one of them. Look how dark it gets at night. This is just horrible. Can't see a thing. I think I overshot. I think I overshot. Let's go back this way if we can. It was this way. He's coming in hot. What does that even mean, coming in hot? This is the wrong place to end up. The dock is over there. How do I get over there to the dock? Is this it? I gotta go around this. Okay, so I gotta get out. And I have trouble getting out of the damn boat. Is there a button I gotta press to get out of the boat? Ah, it's right click. Now watch that boat. It's moving. It's moving very, very slowly. The only way that we could keep it from doing this is if we pushed it back towards shore, but then it might break when it touches shore. If it doesn't, then it's okay. So let's see what happens. It didn't break. But you notice it's still moving and it's still shaking up and down? Yeah. Well, we have another boat. I've lost a few boats that just vanished. Probably the same sort of thing that makes chunks vanish. I'm really worried that one day we're going to have a map. And that's where you can see that that's the roof for that stuff. The ceiling for that stuff. One day we're going to just have a map where just part of a chunk is just complete. An entire chunk is just missing and just ruins a build. When that happens, we are doomed. And we are done with the 5-episode tour, which is not the same thing as a 5-cent tour. So in the future we might have mine carts, but let's see. Oh, those are ladders. Yeah, so you get in them and nothing. In fact, I don't know how to get out. Oh, yeah. What did I just do? You can't just press. Sometimes it goes right away, sometimes it doesn't go right away. This is interesting, but I don't know what we're going to do with these. I mean, I can't get them to move. There's some kind of furnace, a furnace cart that should work. But I haven't been able to get that to work very well. So we'll see what we can do about that next time. But we're done with the episode. And I'm going to go back to sleep as it's nighttime. Who knows what will happen next episode. Enjoy the download and tell me what you think of it. Bye-bye.